He's in! Patriots win the Super Bowl!
Get the duck boats ready. After 39 long years, the Cup is back home. The Bruins are 2011 Stanley Cup champions.
Back to Folk. Red Sox fans have longed to hear it. The Boston Red Sox are world champions.
Anything's possible! What is up? What is up? What is up, everybody? My name is Brady McGrath, and as always, I am joined with the fellas. I am joined by Cam Garrity and Bobby McBroom. Bobby, how we doing today?
Fantastic. So happy to be back.
Oh, yeah. Cam, how are we feeling today?
Voluptuous.
Voluptuous.
What is that, the word of the day?
That's just a different way of saying Cam
Come
is
on,
a
dude.
large boy.
What are you, a rookie? Have you
exactly.
not done one of these before? You know our go-to there.
It's a go-to, baby.
So we've got some interesting things for this week. We have the New England Patriots coming up against their matchup with the Chiefs. We got some news on our weekly pick'em, which we'll get to later, and then we get a little bit of baseball today. But I wanted to start in talking with you boys about week number 4 with the Patriots and Chiefs coming up. I'm going to start off with you, Bobby. Give me some initial thoughts that you have. It doesn't matter about a prediction or anything like that. How are you feeling coming into this game as a Patriots fan?
I mean, I hope they open up a little bit more of the playbook and throw some things that, Bill is known to throw in when it comes to these big games. So I'm sure they will.
Yeah.
They'll draw something up. I don't know. I mean, it's the Chiefs, the champions. Mahomes is a stud. So I'm just excited to watch a good football game.
We got Bob from the couch too. Those on YouTube. Forgot to shout it out, actually.
I mean, I also think people have to realize how well Cam Newton's actually playing.
Facts.
With the yards, with the running. He's not taking hits. He's going down. He's playing smart football. And he's, dollar bill, y'all.
Yeah, it's all dollar bill, baby.
That's all I gotta say.
Brady, how are you feeling coming into this?
Feeling overly confident.
Okay.
The reason why, now hear me out. The reason why I think the Patriots, and I'm saying now, the Patriots will beat the Kansas City Chiefs. The reason why the Patriots will beat the Kansas City Chiefs is because I'm not very impressed by them right now.
The Chiefs, that is, not the Patriots.
I'm not very impressed by the Chiefs.
Sorry, I'm just trying to get a better angle here.
Their first 3 games, I don't know. Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. He's guaranteed to do at least over average. You know what I mean? Like, he's great. But the rest of the team isn't helping him as much. You know what I mean? Of course they have Tyreek. Of course he's going to get open. They have Kelsey. The offensive line isn't playing that great. The rush isn't playing that great. It's like they contain Lamar, but Lamar and the Ravens, when they're down, they're frauds. And I'll get into that later. But I just feel really confident because the way that the Patriots have been playing, their defense is bound to bounce back. I have the utmost confidence in Bill Belichick is going to out-coach Andy Reid, because Andy Reid can't coach himself out of a plastic bag when he gets rattled. So
I have a question for you, Brady.
What is that?
What do you think, if you think that's about Mahomes, what about Russell Wilson? I know, as being that good of a quarterback, because I know he's gotten some weapons now, but over the past couple years, we saw him not really have those weapons, and that defense wasn't that good. Do you think it showed in week 2 we could have beat Seattle, but do you think Seattle is going to fall off or get off this plateau that they're on? I think
they'll slow down.
Not with that defense.
I think they're going to slow down a little bit. I don't think that Russ is going to be throwing 5 or 4 touchdowns a game.
Yeah.
Like he has been.
Well, he has to.
Given. I mean, he has to, exactly. But that's just it. When you start playing better defenses, when you start getting into more of the thick of it, like who do they have this week? They're playing the Dolphins. He should be able to light that team up.
That's an easy dub for them.
Right? He should be able to light that team up. But that's just what I'm saying.
Well,
the defense that he's been playing, aside from the Patriots had a mental lapse against them, but we were still in that game. So it's like they have to rely on Wilson to get the job done as much as they need to rely on Mahomes and also like Tyrann Mathieu for a deep ball. Like
Yeah.
Well, like Tyler Lockett and DJ Metcalf are in Seattle.
Yeah. Well, looking at Seattle too, you have to understand that they're going up against the Dolphins, right? They've got a great secondary too. The Seattle Seahawks, we brought up the stat in the Fantasy Fathers podcast, have the worst quarterback rating. Like basically, they were the worst pass defense since and I know it's only a small sample size, but since the 2011 New England Patriots. And that's the team that had, as both of you are kind of frozen on my screen. I think it might be my internet, but they can still hear you. They had the worst defense. Yes. They had the worst defense since 2011 when New England Patriots had guys like Edelman and Matthew Slater going out there.
When, kid?
Sorry. You're distracting me because you guys in your
where did you go,
your crap internet.
Oh my God, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Hello.
Come back. All right.
Can you hear me?
2011.
I can hear you now, kid. What happened?
Oh, dude, it's either my internet or yours, but somebody's internet just shit the bed.
Where'd you go?
I mean, I can hear Brady fine. I think it was.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
You left. It wasn't one of us.
We had a mental 2011 cut.
So everybody on the podcast is going to hear what I said, but for you two clowns, I'll repeat it. For you two clowns, I said the Seahawks have the worst defense since the 2011 Patriots when they had Julian Edelman and Matthew Slater actually having snaps on the defensive side of the ball because we had who did we have in that? It was Sergio Brown was our number one cornerback, I think.
Yeah.
Darius Butler and it was a bad team. And they said apparently the Seahawks are actually even worse than that.
That's atrocious.
So I'm sure they'll turn it around, and we also have to come into consideration that it hasn't been 4 weeks yet, which is essentially these are preseason games in a way. Preseason games that matter. These are more used as warm-ups for a lot of teams. So I think we're going to see some teams kind of snap out of the weird instances they've had these first couple weeks very soon.
I hope so.
Yeah, I mean, and a side note too, I think the NFL, the way they've been handling COVID with everything and the way, with the Titans and everything, I think they've been doing a good job, but I still think the scheduling, they should have added a second bye week for every team just to account for, they should have had a second bye week at week 8 for everybody. And then, have this season extended.
What's the plan? Are they just going to play it
Well,
during
they're
the week?
rescheduling, and apparently it's going to be added to the end of the season. Is so far what they're considering.
I saw
Wild card weekend.
What for the game that's already been canceled?
Yeah.
I saw that they're gonna switch around bye weeks, and the Steelers are gonna play 13 straight weeks.
Yeah. Yikes.
And Mike Tomlin in the most absolute football guy statement. Someone was like, "How do you feel about that?" And Tomlin goes, "We gonna play 13 weeks straight."
Yeah.
And just looked at her, just stared at her. We're fine.
That's
all
a
right.
football guy right
Yeah.
there.
They're fine. We get it. You're all set.
They also have the luxury of being 3-0 right now with this. If they were, in a hole, I think he'd be talking a little different. I think, he's okay with them losing a couple of games due to them being tired at the end of the year because they're in a good position now. They've, at worst, they can go 3-13, and I don't think they're going to do that. So, that's kind of where that is. So, for my kind of point with the Patriots, where I'm feeling coming into this game, I am nervous, and like I said on our podcast, the Patriots could win by 24, lose by 24, or win by 3. That's kind of how I'm feeling, and I think if they're going to win, it's going to be because Andy Reid gets outcoached, and I think that we just run the ball down their throats with Sony Michel. I think if we lose the game, is if Stephon Gilmore looks like the Stephon Gilmore that we've seen the first 3 weeks, I think we lose that game by 24 if he looks like that.
He's got ripped off though. Some of those calls were come on.
Yeah, but it's not even the calls though.
Yeah, exactly. It's not just the calls. It's some of those plays they're making. It's but it's also he was going
DJ
against
Metcalf made a fantastic
DK like Donkey Kong, brother.
What did I say, DJ?
DJ.
4 times, and I haven't called you on it, but now I'm going.
You know what it is?
You keep saying it.
It's a Sublime song stuck in my head. That's what it is.
Of course it is.
Of course. That's the only thing that runs around in this kid's head is Sublime.
All right. Anyway, moving on.
So, I guess speaking against the Patriots coming up this week, I think we all know we can't. With the Patriots games, it's so hard to talk about what do they need to do, what do they need to do, because everybody talks about it all week, and we know what they have to do is literally just run the ball and play solid defense. That's all they can really do. Play their game, play to their strengths, and hope for the best in coaching. I don't think there's anything like we need, a fantastic game out of N'Keal Harry to win this. It's literally going to come down to, can Sony Michel rush for 120 yards? Can Cam Newton be Cam Newton? And can the defense just hold its own?
Hear me out on this. Let me raise you this one.
Oh.
All running backs are back and healthy. Right.
Especially
now.
Damian Harris, too.
Damian Harris is back.
Hello.
Yep.
James White returned to practice.
Yeah.
He knows.
Let me just throw this out there.
He needs a big
They want to
game.
get Sony involved in the game, and they also have been involving J.J. Taylor.
Well, they need James White to be involved,
This running back by committee. They're at 5, and Rex Burkhead.
5.
5 running backs.
Well, I'm assuming J.J. Taylor will go to the practice squad.
I don't think so.
No, they'll
Trust
keep
me.
a spot for him.
I don't think so because he has been balling out. They're going to keep those 5 running backs, and they're going to do a lot with those 5 running backs. Because I was saying this earlier, Rex Burkhead had 3 touchdowns. You won't see that again until like week 14.
Do you?
But you want to know what he will do? He'll go out there and he'll catch a few balls. He'll try to run forward for a few. They put Damian Harris out there. They think you're going to run? No, they're going to do a quick pass. Maybe they'll hit him in the flat because he's a downhill monster.
Do you
It's going to be really hard to plan against a 5 running back system when all
With
these
Cam
guys are going to play with Cam Newton, with all these guys going to play.
Do you
It's
now? Do you
really
think Bill Belichick and the Patriots, with this 5-man committee, is simply saying we're giving the ball to the hot hand, and whoever is the worst after, say, week 7 is going to go to the practice squad? That's eligible.
Nope, I don't think so.
You don't think
I think
he's going to try to get the most out of maybe 3 guys, have a 4th to be there as a guy? You think he's seriously going to give the ball to 5 different times all year? 5
I think
different
as
guys.
of right now, how the wide receiver position looks, you are able to do that.
Yeah.
And keep
But
those 5 guys.
What if, now speaking of it, nice segue, what if the wide receiving core is better with the rumored Julio Jones?
We
Not
ain't
just
getting
me
him now.
tonight, folks.
I was-
Everybody. Well,
Yeah,
we
we-
ain't getting him
we're
now.
all
We just
tired.
screwed it.
We are
The Julio Jones rumored to the Patriots. So for those that don't know, there is a rumor out there that Julio Jones to the Patriots is an almost done deal, according to multiple sources throughout Twitter and everything, that it's looking like a 2nd rounder this coming draft and a 2nd rounder in the next draft, potentially
That's it.
including a 1st rounder and one of those 2, depending on where the talks have been. But that's been the most recent report. And if it is true, they said look for Julio Jones not playing Sunday. Because if that's the case, then he's going into a bye week with the New England Patriots, so he can rest up and get healthy.
and the COVID 14 days, right?
Well, he's yeah, they have to do that as well. And also, with Julio, the other thing that you have to look out for is that they said that they might be announcing it on Sunday anyway, after the games have been played. So keep that in consideration.
Has
that
Adam
could be a move.
Schefter said anything?
No,
None of the major sources have caught
none of the
on
major
yet,
sources have said anything.
which makes me a little skeptical. But
Yeah.
a lot of the major sources were wrong about Brady and the Patriots. A lot of the sources were wrong. Like they're wrong a lot. This
Yeah,
source
they're-
we're going to is not very, very credible just yet because he's a newer source. But
Yeah.
he's
But I will
he's
say,
hit on
this
certain
guy,
things.
Yeah, the guy that did hit on it, like at the beginning of January, said Brady's out. He hit Kemba coming here. He hit Garrett Cole to the Yankees. Like he hit some big ones.
Yeah,
But I will say that I believe it. It's believable. That's the
I think it's believable.
I think
Yeah,
that's the biggest thing.
How old is he right now?
31.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
that's perfect.
Yeah, it's 31. He's 31.
Julian Edelman's age.
But it's completely believable.
Or no, actually no. Sorry, younger.
That's the problem, especially if something like that blows up the internet. It's believable.
Yeah, and the thing is with Julio too is like the Patriots have the cap space right now. We have about $24 million in cap space where we can go after him.
Go after restructure.
Restructure.
Cut it back,
He's on an Atlanta Falcons team who they have Calvin Ridley, but they're looking like they want to retool. They're at the bottom of the league.
No joke.
Yeah, they're at the bottom of the league. Their coach is going to get fired. They're probably going to have a top pick in the draft. Like They want to get what they can get for Julio. And look, if they can get a couple of second rounders, even if they can get an extra first from the Patriots, right? Like, I wouldn't even mind giving up this coming first round pick.
The Patriots have a league high, I think, like 13 picks.
Yeah. And you got to think of it this way. Bill Belichick is not, he doesn't care if we don't have a first-round pick, right? Like, he's done it multiple times. He trades out all the time. If you're telling me you can get Julio Jones, who not Tom Brady, who Bill Belichick loved coming into that draft and actually told the Falcons to take him, and if he can get him for a first-round pick now, at the point of his career, he's Julio Jones, right? He's a Hall of Fame wide receiver, still in his prime. Like, if that proves anything, that means Bill Belichick knows that this team can win now for the sole fact that if he's willing to give up a first-rounder next year, that means he thinks that pick's going to be pick 31, 32 anyway. So, if that was supposed to be a lottery pick, I think the only thing that holds up the first-round pick is if Bill Belichick thinks that, hey, this team could potentially just miss the playoffs. We could be a wild card team. That pick's going to be a little higher in the first round. Than they usually are used to getting, which is basically the bottom 5 picks. Yeah. So if that's where the pick is, then I could see that being a holdup for it. But then again, why would you be making that trade for somebody like of his caliber if you don't feel comfortable with this team? So my question for you guys is, do you think that even though Julio is probably the best wide receiver in the league over the past 5 years, after months of us talking about who the Patriots should get, do you think that is enough to put them over the hump and make them a legitimate threat in the NFL?
Yes, I think they already are in general, but I think if they get Julio,
I'm talking Patriots Chiefs conference championship if they get Julio.
I'll call it a wrap.
Yeah,
110%. I will guarantee an AFC championship.
Oops. I have my calendar up in front of your faces. Let me move it over here.
I will 100% guarantee an AFC championship.
I'm gonna look at their schedule, right? We're gonna play.
Patriots?
Yeah, we're gonna play a little game here, right? We're gonna do this with Julio Jones and without Julio Jones. This record the rest of the way. Yeah. So right now we're sitting at 2-1.
Yep.
And then we have a game against the Chiefs. So without Julio. We all talked about it. I think the Patriots are going to be 2-2. An honest opinion, just to be safe.
I'm saying win.
So let's just assume they lose this game, but they get Julio, right? 2-2. Okay, Broncos Patriots win.
Yep, win.
Okay, we got them at 3-2.
Yep.
Patriots 49ers with Julio win.
Win
Yep.
Because they're still beat up.
They're still banged up. Yep.
I'll call it a win.
Patriots Bills with Julio.
Frauds win.
Yep. All right, Patriots Jets. I think
not even a question.
Yeah,
win.
That's not going to happen. Patriots Ravens.
Such a good game. That's going to be an unreal game.
I can see them losing.
Julio, I can see them losing that. But if they do what they did to what the Chiefs did to him, with I think a lesser defense, what they did to Lamar, if we could do that, then I would say it. But I'll call that one a loss.
Okay, so
we
we're
play like we played against Seattle. We'll be fine.
Yeah,
I agree.
So Patriots Texans, that's a win.
Win.
Yeah.
Cardinals Patriots with Kyler Murray in that team. I have that as a win too.
That team needs
Patriots Chargers with this team.
That's gonna be a good game. That's not even me being a Chargers fan.
I could see them losing. No, I'm dead serious in this. I think I could see them
losing that too.
Just losing, but the thing is I'm going to put them as a win just because you have a rookie quarterback going up a Bill Belichick-led team. Mm-hmm. That's never fared well against the Patriots.
I agree.
So I see that being a loss. So I win. So I have about 9-3. Patriots Rams. That to me seems like a loss. I think. With those kind of players.
I'm not impressed by the Rams.
It's Bill Belichick against Sean McVay. And
exactly.
Sean
McVay is going to get outsmarted. Don't.
All right, as a whole, as a whole, I lose that one. So 10-3. All right, so we have Patriots Dolphins. I think that's a loss. I think you always drop a game to them in December. I literally think you have to account for one loss in the division, and that's going to be against the Dolphins.
Yeah, you can all.
But it's not a Tom Brady team, though.
There it is. It's not a Tom Brady team because
but
Tom
that's saying,
Brady's
are
the
you?
One, but it's Tom Brady's the one that doesn't play against the Dolphins.
Okay, but my point is, you really think the Patriots with this team, you added Julio, they're going to sweep the division?
Yes.
Yes, because the division isn't that great.
It's
okay.
It's still the worst division.
All right,
no, but I'm not
11-3.
saying they're going to sweep it though.
moving
That's the
moving
thing.
to
I'm
the Bills.
not saying they're going to sweep it. They lose that
Buffalo.
game. They lose
Lose
that game.
to Buffalo.
I think they lose in the last game.
Okay,
against
and
Buffalo.
then they beat the Jets.
They smoke the Jets.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we have them at 12-4 with Julio. So now we're gonna go back and do it as the current team stands without Julio. Patriots, Chiefs. We'll say they're 2-2.
Yeah,
so
all right.
let's just assume that they're gonna lose just to make it even and basically start from scratch. Broncos, Patriots. That's a win.
Yep.
So we have them at 3-2. 49ers, Patriots without Julio. I think that's a 4-2 because they're banged up. Patriots, Bills without Julio. I have that as a loss.
I have that as a loss. I can call that a loss.
Patriots, Jets. That's an easy win.
That's a win.
Patriots, Ravens. That's another loss for
I
me.
think that's a loss. Yep.
Patriots, Texans. That's a win. Cardinals, Patriots.
Win.
I still think that's a win either
That's
way.
a win. All we have to you
Patriots,
only have to account for
Chargers,
Chandler
win.
Jones. Win. I'll call it a win too.
Patriots, Rams. I
Win.
think that's a win still in my books. Patriots, Dolphins. Win.
Yep. That's a win.
And then I have them losing to the Bills still in this point of the
Twice?
year.
I don't think they'll lose to him twice.
You
I
have them
think
losing
in that
twice?
case, look. So in that case,
Bill
in the
Belichick never
in the
loses
case
twice.
that they lose early, right? In the case they lose early to the Bills, I don't see them losing late.
Bill Belichick would never lose
Okay,
twice.
because I'm just gonna prove your
Do it
thought
the right
process. So at this point, you're telling me right now that you think with Julio Jones the Patriots go 12-4, without Julio Jones the Patriots go 12-4. I don't see that being their record this year. That's why I feel like certain games.
Actually, you know what? I take back the Rams.
That's
Don't
what my
lose that
point was
game.
trying to be.
I
So
take that one back. I take that one back.
I see them being 11-5 this
Yep,
season.
I can agree with that.
Maybe 10-6. Like they could have a weird game where they do end up losing to the Cardinals. I think
Which is fine because
that's
it's
the only
still-
one that I think they could lose to is the Cardinals. If they look how they look through the first weeks, if they look how they look against the Lions, they might be 2-14. So we don't know how they're gonna look. So
For real.
but yeah, so basically Julio coming to the Patriots could be a thing. My question now for you, Brady, we talked about this beforehand, is if Julio is not the guy, right? If he is not the one that the Patriots end up getting, who do you have on your list, and what do you see happening? And I'm talking, give me deep depth. Give me this guy for this
give me it
pick,
all, Brady.
right?
Deep.
Exactly,
Okay.
like what Bobby said. Give me the
Nice
player,
and
give me the
deep,
picks,
okay.
and give me why. That's what we
Okay.
need.
So I have a few. My first one is kind of like a simple one.
Okay.
I'd say Curtis Samuel from the Panthers.
Okay.
I think
What's
we
it gonna
could
take?
get Curtis Samuel because they have DJ Moore and because they're trying to rebuild a little bit. I think we can get them for a third round. I think we can get him for a third rounder straight up.
Okay.
Third rounder or late second rounder, depending how everything looks, depending on what they got. Because mainly Curtis Samuel, because of Cam Newton and Curtis Samuel played together in Carolina. They do have a little bit of connection. That's kind of like the same thing with him and Damari Bird. Damari Bird was a rookie when Cam Newton was still there, and he was, kind of like on his way out of injury, but he was still there with him. So I think that was a good
great.
call. He is playing really well. I think Marvin Jones from the Lions trying to rebuild. They have Kenny Galladay. They have TJ Hawkinson. I think they can get him for maybe a second and a third rounder. Mostly, kind of like he's like a Lion vet. So I don't think it's going to
Marvin
take.
Jones wouldn't be bad. I think
What
you
about
get him for a fifth, dude.
What about
think a
Amendola?
fifth
Could you
round?
see him
Yeah.
coming back?
You know how many
I don't
times?
see Amendola.
Yeah.
Do you know how many times
But
Bill
AD thing.
Belichick has traded like a fifth or sixth round pick for like somebody decent? The only thing is we're skewed because Mohamed Sanu he traded for
That's
a
what I was
second
just
round
about to say.
pick.
He traded him for a second rounder, and I think.
Yeah, but
I
that
think
was a
Marvin
one-time
Jones is
thing.
more
Look
valuable.
at all the players Bill Belichick has brought in from trades. They've been fourth, fifth rounders. Bill Belichick loves his third round picks, so he is not going to be giving up that easily. Even Gronkowski, we got a fourth round pick out of a Gronkowski that was retired. So you got to look at it the other way. Somebody that's currently playing in the league that's not as skilled as Gronk is going to give you a fourth or a fifth.
Yeah.
So I'm actually trying to look up the Patriots. This is from April, so this is a little outdated. This is their 2021 draft picks.
Okay.
So I am trying to find it, but you
Was
know.
it before the draft?
Here's the
lose them
picks.
again?
No, so here's the picks that they have. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on
All
with
right,
my
real quick.
internet.
Henrik
no.
I can
Lundqvist to
see you
Boston.
guys.
Yeah, of course. Cam,
Hello.
you go, Cam.
Hello.
Cam's back. Cam's
Hello.
back. Yeah, Cam's back.
Yeah, I don't know what's been going on with my internet today. It's been awful.
Man.
But so these are their picks. This is basically before the draft, but this is
Before the draft. Okay, because
Yeah.
we made more. We got more drafts afterwards.
Right.
Trading through.
So they had 9 picks, and I believe they have 13 now. That's what I'm trying to find where they are. All of the freaking reports are from like March.
It's because everybody's talking about Cam Newton.
So we'll say, well, you know what? We'll do this. This is a article from, post Cam Newton draft plans, I guess. Oh my
there
god!
you
You
go.
know what? I'm taking this off. I hate those things where they make you click on every next. Like, bro,
Yeah,
just show me the
those
damn list. Like, those
Show
are
me
awful.
the
So.
damn Carfax.
Yeah, so basically what I was getting to is the Patriots have a ton of draft picks. I can't seem to find them right now, which is kind of annoying me, but I know the last time I checked, we had a couple of 3rd rounders, couple of 4th rounders. I want to say we have 2 2nd rounders, but I'm not certain on that. But yeah, I mean, basically, tell me who else is on your list while I kind of look this up.
Oh, I found it. I found one. They have 13.
Okay. Do you know which picks they are?
Yes. They, except for the ones that got traded to them because those aren't determined yet.
Yeah.
So they have.
Yeah, I don't care where they are. I just want to know what rounds they're in.
So they have 1 first round, 1 second round,
One
1
first
third round, 3 4th rounds.
Okay, so they did
That's
get.
so Bill.
I think they did lose a 3rd rounder because of the Bengals stuff.
So 3 third rounds, a 5th round,
Yep.
3 6th rounds. 2 of them. Actually, no. We only have 12. Sorry, we swapped 6th rounds
Okay.
with the Jets, so we have 2
Oh.
6th round picks.
Basically a 5th rounder there. The
Exactly.
Jets.
And then 2 7th rounds.
Okay. So the thing is with the Patriots, that's plenty of ammo this year to go get Julio. I don't think we trade that 1st rounder. Especially if we only have 1 2nd rounder. I think if we had
Unless we're gonna get Julio out of it, then I'll be okay with.
Well,
trading
yeah,
first round.
right. But the thing is hear me out. Is I wouldn't want to give up a 1st rounder this year because there are some good targets the Patriots could get around their pick at that time to build around their team. Like we've seen how Kyle Trask has played in his first game, but
Why would you? You wouldn't waste the 1st round pick. On
No. That's not what I'm saying. So I'm saying is there's going to be more quarterbacks going in the 1st round because he's playing better, which means that those players that were supposed to go in the middle of the pack are now going to slip to later in the Patriots round. So you could get a good edge rusher, you could get a good lineman, you could get a good linebacker somewhere in that late part of the 1st round. So that's why I kind of think the Patriots should hold on to a 1st round pick. As much as I like Julio, he is getting older. He is coming out of his prime. If you can get him for a 2nd rounder this year and maybe a 1st rounder next year, I would do it. Because I think the Patriots still need to retool on their defense. Because you don't know. I think Hightower and Chung literally could retire after the season.
I don't think
Hightower won't.
Hightower won't. Chung will.
Hightower is a free agent after this year.
But
He's
I think he's gonna come back mostly to kind of be like a
Coach?
like a coach guy. But he's still gonna play. But he's gonna coach up all because
Yeah, I don't think he's gone, but you still have to have a
younger,
contingency plan
Oh
for
yeah,
him.
you have to have a contingency plan. I completely agree. But that's just it. He's in that contingency plan because right now they have Juwan Bentley and they have Anthony Jennings. They're gonna be the future middle linebackers. Jennings is an outside linebacker. They're gonna push him inside.
Okay.
I think inside because he has the speed, he has the strength, he has the smarts. He played fantastic at Bama, and Juwan Bentley can be the play caller. I mean,
Man, I don't know. Bentley has looked like hot garbage these first couple of
so.
weeks.
No,
I
he's
think
played,
he has.
He's played well.
I think he's
played
been
well
garbage.
with what he's had to do. Like they literally just Hightower opted out. And they said, all right, you're the play caller now. And he went in and.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see some more from him before I'm ready to give the keys to Juwan Bentley. I think.
Oh, I agree.
I think the Patriots' smartest move. I know Clay Matthews has said he doesn't want to come back, but I think their smartest move on that scent to kind of get a fix is sign him to a 1-year deal, right? Bring him in for the remainder of the season and start at least training Chase Winovich to be an outside linebacker, because I think that's where his ceiling is.
Let me ask you this: what if you can't get him? Are there any other linebackers right now you can go get?
No.
Yeah.
Look,
I don't think there really is.
I think Winovich is
man.
already a stud, and he's playing fantastic.
Winovich is a top 5 D end right now.
Like,
right. But I'm saying is
I
his
want him being
upside.
outside. That's why they got Uche.
Yeah,
Right.
but this is what I'm saying
Right.
is, and Anthony Jennings too is who they got for that. Uche is more for the middle, but what I've been saying is, if you look at Chase Winovich, his size and everything that he's able to do,
he's a big boy.
he is, but his upside as an outside linebacker, I think he could be much more effective there. I'm not saying he's a bad D end, but I'm saying he could be all pro if they move him to outside linebacker.
I had a projection. I remember I was saying, you remember, I think you might have remembered this. I remembered during the draft, I wanted the Patriots to either draft Yetur Gross-Matos or AJ Epinesa.
Yeah, we both wanted that. We needed an edge.
So they could move Winovich back.
Right.
But I don't think that in this upcoming draft is going to be someone like that.
We're actually gonna look up I'm going to look up the 2021 mock draft, and I know this is so early, but this is what Patriots fans do.
Exactly. We have to.
We have to plan for the future, because Cam Newton's here a year. We don't know what this team's going to look like.
It's a fact.
It's fun. It's fun.
It's something you need.
So let's see.
What's the word on Stidham? Is he still hurt? His hip, right?
I think he's hurt, but
he's not the guy.
Yeah, he's not the guy.
Yeah.
So right now it has the Patriots. This is without what's his face? Without Julio in any trade like that. It has the Patriots having the number 22 pick and drafting Devontae Smith from Alabama, wide receiver.
Where are you seeing that? Because I saw
this is on CBS.
I'm on 24/7 Sports. I saw him 17.
So, for somebody else that's in this draft that I really hope doesn't get picked up early is Marvin Wilson, but they have him middle of the round. I really like him.
I want the Patriots to move up and go after Dylan Moses, because if
Jalen Waddle's good, Dylan Moses here.
But if we're gonna sit there and think that there's not much time left for Hightower, at least go after someone that's going to be what I personally think is going to be a generational talent, and at the linebacker position. I think Dylan Moses is a freak of nature. Last year it was really disappointing when he did get hurt, because he was getting Heisman talk, and like that's you don't see many linebacker, like it was like
you don't see defensive players.
Yeah,
there's a long shot.
Woodson,
there's a long shot for the Patriots too in this draft is Kyle Pitts and Pat Freiermuth. If they fall, they're both right now projected to go 18 to the Cardinals and 19 to the Jaguars. If I'm the Jaguars, I'm not taking a tight end with a first-round pick when they're that bad of a team. I could see the Cardinals taking Pitts, but if you look at it with Freiermuth, if the Patriots have 22, the Colts aren't going to get him. Right,
they're Massachusetts man. I don't know what to tell you.
And the Titans have Jonnu Smith, right? The Colts aren't going to want him. The Patriots might, but then you have to remember that they just spent 2 draft picks on tight ends this past year. So I don't know if they're going to do that yet. And we want to see if they develop.
Yeah, but we even haven't seen them yet.
Yeah, but we want to see them develop. And look, my thing is, from seeing and hearing what I've had to say, everybody's high on Asiasi, like all of the people. But the person I'm actually more high on as a Patriot is Dalton Keene. I think that people don't realize that the type of skill he has mimics those of a George Kittle. Now, I'm not saying he's anywhere near that. He has a similar play style. So if they can develop him, I think that he could be a good fit there. Asiasi's getting more playing time right now because he can block and catch.
And Dalton Keene's been hurt too.
Right. And yes, he's been on the injury report too.
Yeah, he hasn't played the first few weeks. Yeah, I just pulled him up. 6'4", 250. He's 21 years old. Like,
that's raw talent,
Exactly. He has raw talent.
You could shave off 15 pounds and make him a receiver.
When he was in
Big boy.
When he was in college, he didn't do a lot of catching, but he did do a lot of blocking.
Yep.
So that's important for a Patriot system because that's exactly how Gronk was.
You can't but the thing with the Patriots is if you're a tight end and you can't also block, you're not going to get playing time. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Unless you're like
I mean, that's why they drafted two of them.
Unless you're like Aaron Hernandez, but that was the same thing with the Patriots. They drafted Aaron Hernandez and Gronk because they saw that they're both fucking world-class talents, and they saw that, look, hey, we can put up with Aaron Hernandez not blocking, right? Same thing with Gronk. They were like, Gronk can do both. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. But, like, you know, I mean, obviously you can't predict they're going to be Hall of Famers. You can predict they're going to be good players in the league. But that's the same thing with the Patriots. That's why they drafted two of them. They're like, all right, we'll put up with Dalton Keene, you know, learning how to, you know, play the offense and everything, but we have to go out and get somebody who can do both, like Asiasi. Like, that's the thing.
I agree with that.
And Cam Newton, and speaking of tight ends, my trade that I think the Patriots could make.
Oh, Cam's gone again. Cam's gone.
I'm just kidding. I muted it.
Every time
I tricked you.
Died because every time you pull up.
No.
You know
So,
what I think should happen? I think.
Dude, I'm just like, look, what's the Boston?
Yeah, exactly.
So the person I think that the Patriots should end up getting is Zach Ertz because I think right now he is at a spot where he is not happy in Philly. Philly can move on from him because they like Dallas Goedert. They have a lot there. And I think the Patriots, that's another move. If they don't feel what they have with these tight ends, they could easily shake up the league and be like, hey, you know how much cap room we have right now? Yeah, we're going to go out there and get Julio and Zach Ertz, and now people are going to be like, oh, the Patriots are kind of legit.
I don't think they can get both.
They could. They have to throw somebody in the trade.
That would make a big headache for next year.
Oh, it would, but Zach Ertz is gone.
Both.
Zach Ertz is gone. If you give up a third-round pick, right, Philly's eventually going to get desperate. They're like, we either get a third-rounder from the Patriots now, or we're not getting anything for him because he's going to be gone after the year. So I think if the Patriots...
I had one of the people I wanted on my list, I had Allen.
Yeah, I don't think he's going anywhere. Can you hear Brady? I can't hear you. I can't hear you. The podcast can't hear you. Hold on.
Coming into that game and saving that game against the Falcons caused all of the Julio unrest because he was also hurt.
Yeah.
Julio was?
Yeah, Julio was out last week, so I still put up 190. Bitches.
So this is the thing. This is the thing with the Patriots and whoever they get. Like, Allen Robinson is clearly happy in Chicago now. They're getting him the ball. He wants to be there, whatever. Somebody that I wanted was John Ross. I think he's been injured. He hasn't had time on the field. I think you could easily swing a fourth rounder for him.
I agree.
Get him off the hands of the Bengals and be like, look, you know, you want 2 fourth rounders, whatever they have 3 fourth rounders.
Exactly. It's like, come on, man. Look, he was your number 10 pick and he fucked you over.
Yeah.
So
like,
how about you send him over to us, right?
We'll fix him.
No. We won't fix him. We'll
give you something for your troubles.
We'll fix him.
Right. The reason I like him is he's speedy wideout. I think
Cam Newton's like get deep.
Yeah. I think the issue
across the middle
with the Patriots right now what they really need is they need a number one. As much as I love Edelman, he's the best slot receiver, but they need a number one. They need somebody for, even if he's doing nothing and getting locked down, I don't care if it's Julio or whoever, right? They need a threat that is like, because N'Keal Harry is still developing. He's not a threat yet at all. The Patriots need a threat, somebody that they can send down the field, because if you send it down the field, those cornerbacks and that safety are going to be focusing on that, and then it's going to open up the field for Cam Newton. It's going to open up the field for Julian Edelman over the top. It's going to open up the field for the tight ends. It's how you get the most out of all of your players is having pieces that complement each other. When Gronk was on there, they put 2 guys on him. Edelman gets open all the time. James White's open all the time. That's how it worked, right? Now that you don't have a guy like Gronk, you don't have a threat that somebody's thinking, like, as much as we love Julian Edelman, he's a very underrated threat to a lot of teams because they're like, look, he might catch the ball 10 times, but we know that it's only going to be for a couple of first downs down the field. Like, he's not going to put up 90, to 100 yards on us every week, Like, he popped off against the Seahawks, but that was completely different. Like, Julian Edelman's not going to go for 180 yards every time and torch you for 3 touchdowns. So they know that they don't have to put, like, somebody beside besides like a slot corner on him. That's really all they got to put on him. When you have guys like Gronk, you take away an extra guy on the field, right? When you have, a guy like Julio, you're putting a corner on him, and you're probably having your safety shadow him every time. You know that he's going to go down the field, and you hope your number one corner, right? Like, you hope Stephon Gilmore can cover Julio Jones, but you're going to need Devin McCourty there anyway. So, that takes away your two best defenders just doing that. So now you're leaving the field open to where J.C. Jackson, Jason McCourty, Jawan Williams, and Adrian Phillips are trying to cover the other, wideouts. And it's not that we have a bad secondary. We have a very good secondary.
J.C. Jackson's playing unbelievable.
He's a stud. He's
literally...
Yeah, he's going to be the
honestly,
next best corner on this team once
but the problem
Gilmore's
is,
gone.
See, the problem is, it's like, yeah, they're not playing great right now, but if they just snap out of it, we have the best secondary in the league. I don't care what anybody says.
J.C. Jackson is one of the most, underlooked young players in the league right now. How he played last year, how he's been playing. J.C. Jackson, when Stephon Gilmore leaves after his contract's up, right, J.C. Jackson is going to be the next shutdown guy that we have here.
Yeah, no, J.C. Jackson actually, statistically, right now has since when he started playing, he has the best opposing team QBR. It was a 30 when they throw on him in man coverage. It was a 35 or 38. That's phenomenal.
Yeah.
And and people are like, oh yeah, and Stephon Gilmore is the best cornerback in football. It's okay, well now we have number one and number two.
And Jason McCourty, as much as he pisses me off, he's still a pretty good cornerback.
Exactly.
And
you have
Devin? Oh no, Jason.
Yeah.
You got twin 1 and twin 2, whichever one is up to their discretion. According to Cam Newton.
Twin 2 has to be Jason McCourty. You can't. It has to be. You can't. I don't care who was born first. I don't care whatever it is. Devin McCourty was here first. That's what matters.
I mean, that's what Cam Newton said. Cam Newton said twin 1, twin 2. It's whatever they think.
Yeah, but I know what I think is that. So, okay, we kind of went over our baseball or our football. Now we might have to swing over to some baseball before we do our weekly pick'em.
Baseball.
What was
baseball?
What do we got, Bobby? You were talking about this.
Yeah. So
exciting.
It's very exciting.
You can see Bobby's feet on YouTube, by the way.
Oh, Bobby, move your goddamn toes out of the camera, you gross.
Listen,
you gross.
Cam was just going.
I feel like Rex Ryan here.
Cam was just going off, and I was just listening, and I was enjoying it.
So you feet up in the
dude.
camera. People have to look at that.
Neanderthal.
At some point during this podcast, someone is gonna look at their screen and go, "Oh, what is that? What is that? Oh, it's his toes. What do you?"
It's the back of my foot. I mean, the front of my foot. Everyone relax.
Saw your toes.
Relax.
Disgusting.
We all have feet.
Bobby. Continue with your baseball talk.
Yeah, we don't got much time. No one wants to talk about baseball. Let's go.
Anyway, so the other day, the Atlanta Braves were playing, and I think Bauer. I forget who the other guy was pitching for. Who were they playing?
They're playing the Reds.
I'm gonna fall asleep.
Yeah, because you talk so much.
No, it's just baseball, dude. You can't make the sound any more exciting.
Listen, no.
He's gonna have a crazy hit over the middle. Guy was pitching against
Max Fried and Trevor Bauer. It was Max Fried. And
this guy
they
was
went
pitching
7.5 innings, shutout, both of them, and then the bullpen came in, shut out until the 13th inning. It was ridiculous, and I just people forget how exciting pitching battles are because we don't see them a lot anymore.
I think you're rare in that, and I agree with you. I like pitching battles, but
Right.
I think the reason the sport is dying is because 60% of the time there is a stat was that 60% of the time in those games it's either a home run, a walk, or a strikeout. The ball is not in play, so there is none of that. Oh, nice.
You think my foot's a problem, but you just open up a fucking alcoholic beverage on YouTube? What if a kid who's 12 years old wants to watch this?
That's why I mark it, and it says not made for kids. You're literally supposed to put it there, and I say not made for kids.
How about this, Bobby? You ready for this one? You ready for this?
What?
Cam, if you can find a way to edit this one, just make sure you get my face.
Nope.
Hey, everybody. My name is Brady McGrath. I don't condone underage drinking, though I am a 23-year-old adult. I am allowed to do so myself. morons like Bobby McBroom think that I'm reaching out to a younger audience and telling them to drink. That's very wrong. I don't condone it, and I don't agree with it. Thank you.
Okay.
Bobby.
Drink responsibly.
You want to know what my problem is, though, with baseball, for real? Is that those games, the shortest game was 3 hours and 5 minutes.
Yeah, I know. That's
like
been an issue.
of the playoffs, right? And you look at 20 years ago, you look at games from 20 years ago in the World Series, and I was watching, a little bit of the Sports Hub today, and they were talking about this because they had the stats in front of them. 20 years ago, from games in the World Series, the longest game was 2 hours and 45 minutes. That people don't have the time, right? Especially with the pandemic, right? People don't have the time to sit in front of the TV every single night and watch sports. That's why football.
What do you mean, especially with the pandemic?
I think now, well, everybody's home. No, because that's the thing. If you live in a house, somebody's like, you need to help me with your homework. You need to do this. You're gonna watch a show with me, right? You can't tell me that you're gonna sit there in front of the TV, depending on your situation, right? You're not going to be able to sit in front of the TV hour upon hour watching every single sport. That's why I think football is going to kill it.
People do.
I think football is going to kill it even more after COVID because it's once a week, right? People are like, this is easy to watch. There are some fans at some of the games, right? Everybody likes football in general, right? I think hockey did an incredible job with their bubble. I think NBA did an incredible job with their bubble so far. Right, but just baseball, man. I used to love it. It used to be my favorite sport, but it is so boring to watch. I haven't watched a single game in probably a year and a half. The last game I watched was like opening day of not this past season, but the season before, and like I just turned it off. I was like, this game took 4 hours and nothing happened. I don't have that kind of time all week. They play 5 games a week. You're asking me to commit to 15 to 20 hours a week of watching a sport.
I'm about to get your point in. What were you saying?
That's what you get.
What is
That's
it?
what you get.
It's just what, Bobby?
a bitch.
Bobby, it's just what? Continue.
So what I was saying.
Hey, what are you talking about?
See, now I lost my point.
That sucks. Can you hear me?
Now I can.
Dude, the thing, what's my point? You know what's the best thing about this is that you guys, I'm cut off for you guys, but everybody on the podcast heard everything I had to say. So
that's awesome. That makes it even better.
The real star of the show is here.
And Bobby are like, what's going on? What's happening?
Yeah, the real star of the show is talking, so it's fine.
LOL.
But yeah, so what I was saying, baseball sucks, and we don't have much time, so I kind of want to get into our weekly pick'em.
I'm down.
So, Bobby, you're gonna write these down. Brady, do you have the games up for us for the week?
I do. Let me just. Okay, yeah, I got them. I got them right there.
All right. So Bob's gonna keep track of all 3 of ours.
Do you want me to talk about last week?
Oh yeah, right. I forgot we didn't talk about that.
Quick, because it was you and I. So
yeah, it was just me and you. So let's hear their records for last week.
So Cam, last week went a whopping 12-4.
What did I get wrong?
You got the Minnesota game.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
You got. Hold on, let me look. Minnesota. Dallas.
Yep.
Which you and I both got
that
wrong.
Yeah, we did.
And then
2 more.
2 more, right?
Just 2 more.
Yep.
Just 2 more.
That would be 4.
Chargers, you got wrong.
Ah, damn it.
That broke my heart.
And then the Jaguars. We both got the Jaguars wrong.
Okay.
You picked the Jaguars.
We picked the Jaguars.
What fucking idiots.
Over Miami, we
What
both
fucking idiots.
All right, come on now. That was a fair game for them to win if they were going to win one.
Game. Wrong.
All right. All right, Brady, let's hear the games. Bobby, keep track of these.
All right, so the game that's going to be going on in 20 minutes, actually.
Oh, boy.
Broncos, Jets. The Jets are favored currently by 1.5.
I got the Broncos.
I have the Broncos.
Denver.
Yeah. That's a sweep across the board.
Yeah, I have Denver. I think they're literally going to say it on SportsCenter. This kid's ripping it because his name's like Rippin or something. His last name. So, like, their quarterback. He has to win the game. So
what? It's the Bortles isn't playing?
I thought
Not yet.
Oh, because he has to quarantine.
It's Brett Rippin, I think.
You're right.
Brett Rippon is
Shit,
playing.
Yeah, you're right. Damn it. All right. Next game got Cardinals Panthers. Cardinals favored by 3.5.
Yeah, I got the Cardinals.
I'm taking the Cardinals there.
I think Christian McCaffrey has.
They don't
a
have
day.
him. They don't have him back. He's
Christian
still out.
McCaffrey, he's got to wait another week, I think.
Oh,
Yeah, he still has
go
another
Cardinals.
week.
Maybe
I
two,
thought-
actually.
I thought it was this week. I thought it was.
No,
That's why
no,
I thought. Okay,
next
No,
week.
he'll be
yeah.
back. He should be back next week.
Arizona.
Yep.
Okay, so 3 across the
Zona.
board for that one. This is another 3 across the board because if any of you fucking pick if any of you pick the Washington football team over the Baltimore Ravens,
Yeah.
Psychopaths.
Oh, yeah. Ravens, 100%.
that's Ravens 100%.
Has to
They're
be.
favored by 14 points.
Yeah, that's.
I'm just writing it in. I'm
I'd
not
be
even
surprised
talking, I'm
not.
just writing it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right. Next, favored by 4.5 points, the Dallas Cowboys over the Cleveland Browns.
I got the Browns.
I have the Cowboys.
I got the Browns in this one.
I'm taking the Cowboys in that.
I'm also.
I'm probably
taking
going to
the
put
Cowboys.
50 on the Browns, to be honest.
What you do just for it?
I snorted. I was trying to keep that laughing.
Next, we have the Colts favored by 2.5 points over the new Nick Foles Bears. The Bears continue. They're 4-0. Bears win that game.
I'm going Colts in this one.
Bears.
Bears.
Yeah, I'm going Colts in this one. I just think not Phillip Rivers is going to bail them out, but I think that defense played so well and has been a good defense. So.
They have a quarterback. Chicago has a quarterback.
Yeah, but the Colts do too now, so I don't know.
Do they?
They have
Brady's still a little
quarterback.
bit salty about Philip Rivers leaving.
Do
Just
they? I'm not
remind
salty.
everybody.
Yeah, you are.
Oh,
Yeah, you are.
My God.
I hear
By
the
all
sodium
means-
chloride in your voice.
No. By all, that's just.
Although the rookie's a
That's just
stud.
the steak I ate earlier. It's in my veins still.
Yeah.
The cholesterol building up. No,
It's already been built up, buddy.
I'm not. I am by all means not salty at all. I'm happy Phil is gone. I'm
Yeah.
very happy with Justin Herbert.
All right, let's hear
Yeah,
next.
Next game, Cincinnati Bengals favored by 3 over the Jaguars.
Jaguars.
I'm taking the Bengals.
We have to, for the sake of our bet,
For the
from
sake of our bet,
I
we
have to take the Jaguars.
I have to take the Bengals. Simple as that.
I have the
Go on,
Jaguars,
the
and if
outlier.
you guys missed it, me and Brady have a jersey wager. So if Gardner Minshew throws for 4 touchdowns and no picks against the Bengals defense, Brady has to buy a Quad X Minshew jersey. And
3x. Don't be blind. 3x.
all right, fine, 3. And then if he throws 2 picks, whoever picked him off in one of the 2, I get to choose from who
In hindsight,
it was.
I should have taken turnovers, but I'll still stick with the picks because we already made the bet. Because Minshew is just a turnover machine. But
You should have said turnover.
I
That's
should've,
fine, man. You locked
but
it in.
I
And
know, I
hey,
locked it
if he
in.
only throws 2 touchdowns and no picks, neither of us win anyway.
exactly, that's what I'm saying.
So let's
So,
hope
yeah.
we both don't have to buy a jersey for one of the 2 worst franchises in the NFL. But
yeah, for real.
I'll take it.
So this next one.
You don't want to hear my pick?
You
Oh,
didn't
what's
say
your
it.
pick? I'm sorry, I thought
I
you
thought
said
you
it.
said it.
Sorry.
Fine. I'm going with Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
That's not a team, Bobby.
Bobby's on my side. All right.
I was talking about Joe Montana.
Joe Montana's
He's a
a
stud.
quarterback, you crazy asshole.
No, the linebacker, Joe Montana.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers favored by 7 against the Chargers. I'm not being a Chargers fan here, but I'm calling the Chargers will cover and win.
I have the Chargers, yeah. I have the Chargers in this.
I will almost never pick a Tom Brady Bucks team, so I'm going Chargers.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm salty. I'll straight up say it.
Yeah, at least he'll admit it.
Yeah, at least you'll admit I like that. Next game, Houston Texans favored by 4 over the Minnesota Vikings. I'm gonna take the Texans because Minnesota's done. Minnesota's dead. They're in the water. They're drowning.
Who's their backup?
They actually have. Doesn't matter who their backup
No,
is.
but it's gonna.
Right now, somebody has their
Listen.
hand on the back of Kirk Cousins' head and he's dunking his head in the toilet.
Yeah.
They're
No, yeah, 100%.
it's
I got
minus
Texans, but I'm curious who their backup is because this is going to affect how the rest of their season's going to go.
I'm going to go with the Vikings.
As much as I want Justin Jefferson to be on such a good team. It's such a shame.
I'm
He might be
I
the
think
next
Cousins
Randy Moss, just
throws-
be on awful Vikings teams.
I Cousin has his day. I'm not saying he's good anymore. Still love the guy. Good guy.
Bob's a big Cousins guy.
I'm a big Cousins guy. Just because, listen, here's why.
That ain't the only cousin.
Jesus Christ. Here's why, though. He's just a great guy, and you can't hate a great guy.
So I think Kirk Cousins paid Bobby to say this.
Yeah, exactly. Come on, Bobby.
On the Kirk Cousins podcast.
Yeah.
$100 if you tell them I'm handsome too. Fuck you.
All right. No, I'm just
Next game, Detroit Lions. Saints favored by 4.5.
Yeah, Saints.
The Saints have been down. They're coming up.
Yeah, I got the Saints in this one. As much as I would like to pick the Lions again,
Seattle Seahawks.
not a favorable.
Seattle Seahawks favored by 7 against the Dolphins. It's an easy answer. Of course, the Miami Dolphins. It's the Seahawks.
You know,
it's the Seahawks.
I'm feeling crazy here, and I'm gonna go Dolphins.
Oh God.
I'm
suck.
feeling
Are you
it.
actually going
Yeah.
Dolphins?
Actually
Yes,
going
we are.
Dolphins?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going Seahawks. There's no.
I think with that crap bag of a Seahawks team, and I don't know if Russell Wilson
There's
can
no
keep
fans.
up 4
Because they're in
touchdowns,
Seattle.
4 touchdowns a game for the rest of the season. I don't think he can do it. So I
but
think
it's
this is the
Miami.
game where they have good secondary, and I think this is a game where he can come down to earth and somehow the Dolphins win. For some reason, I feel it, and you know what? I'm going to take this to the bank. I'll put money on it
Next
this
The only
week,
way
too.
Miami has a chance if they put in the kid.
No. They got Fitzmagic.
Yes.
Fitzmagic he's playing all year. I don't care what anybody says.
Bro, and no
next
offense
game-
to Cam Newton, if Cam Newton can throw 400 yards against the Seahawks, Fitzpatrick can throw 300.
Yeah, I agree.
250.
Rams -13 against the dumpster fire Joe Judge Giants.
Yeah, that's the
Going
Rams.
Rams
I
to
have the
win
Rams by
and
30.
Cover. I have the Rams to win and cover the 13.
Yeah, I have the Rams by like 30.
They're gonna hit the over by themselves.
Yeah, it's going to be – if the banged up 49ers can demolish them, this team's going to demolish them.
Oh, 100%. All right, what do you got, Bob?
I'm going Rams. I was not in my head. I was a
Next game, Bills, Raiders, Bills -3.5. The Bills fall because they're frauds. They should have lost last week. I am not on the Josh Allen train.
I've been saying he's ass all year. I've been saying he's ass, and everybody says I'm crazy. But
I'm going Raiders.
as much as I think he's ass, I'm going Bills.
I'm going Raiders because I completely agree with
I
Brady.
think that Josh Jacobs is going to have a day. He's going to be completely healthy.
Derek Carr
Henry
is a
Ruggs is going to be
good
back.
quarterback.
Derek Carr is having a good year, which is
Yeah.
surprising. Next game, you know how I feel about this. It's Chiefs -7 against the Patriots. Patriots will win the game. Kansas City has impressed me.
Man, as much as the Patriots fan in me wants me to go with the Patriots, I've been thinking all week that Sony's going to have a good game, but I'm going with the Patriots.
Yeah, going with the Patriots. He's going with the Patriots. Yeah.
Made you think
Well,
different.
What do you
Let me
got,
say,
Bob?
This wouldn't be a Boston podcast if I didn't go Patriots.
You're right.
Boom. Yes, sir.
So,
So that being said, Bobby's going Chiefs.
nope, I'm going Pats.
All right.
But that was funny. That was good.
Okay, so San Fran -7 against the Eagles. This game is going to be.
This is going to be ugly.
This is going to be disgusting, and I think the Eagles finally pick up a win.
Yeah, no,
Eagles.
I'm going 49ers.
I think the Eagles finally do it.
I
I'm
would
just-
say
I don't know what it is.
I don't know. That's a tough game.
I don't know what it is. I just have a deep feeling that Carson Wentz is going to be like, "Why do you all hate me? Because I'm really not the thing that's happening wrong here." You
Yeah,
know?
he's too good to lose to a practice squad.
Yeah, but I mean,
But that kid over there is playing pretty well.
fuck Nick Mullins. I'm going Eagles.
Dude,
Did you see that Nick Mullins has what's it in like his 9 games as a starter? He's like the only other quarterback that's thrown it's some kind of ridiculous stat, and he has like 27 touchdowns in those games. The only other quarterback to do that is Patrick Mahomes.
Jeez.
So
That's funny. Nick Mullins is still bad.
I know, but I'm taking 49ers to the bank. So
Bob, what do you got?
I am taking the Eagles because
All right.
Wentz is too good of a quarterback.
Bob's just going against me this week because he knows that he lost last week in Pick'em. So as long as he has a 50-50 chance of beating me in every game.
Baltimore did shit the bed.
I felt the Chiefs are going to win that game, man.
I'm going to say this. The Ravens are on fraud alert.
Yeah.
You heard me say it here now. I'm saying it physically right now. Brady McGrath. That's me. It's my name.
Glad you remembered that.
I'm so surprised.
Oh,
the
you're
Ravens
Brady.
are on fraud alert because with Lamar Jackson, when they're up by 10 at half, they're 5-0.
Yep.
When they're down by 10 at half, they're 0-5.
They're the Boston Celtics of the NFL. They cannot.
I tell you.
They're the Celtics of the NFL. They cannot play from behind.
Next game. The Sunday night game. Actually, no. That was the Eagles 49ers Sunday night game. Dumpster fire. So sad.
Yeah.
The Monday night game. Packers -7.5 against the Falcons. I just feel so bad for the Falcons, man.
We'll put it this way: if Julio's there and healthy and isn't getting traded, I have the Packers. And if he's not playing and is getting traded, I have the Packers.
Yeah, it's
It's
foolish.
the Packers. Aaron Rodgers.
It's foolish to not take Aaron Rodgers.
He's on a mission right now.
He's literally every single
him
day,
and Russ.
I bet he doesn't even talk to Matt LaFleur. He looks at him with like the most disgusted face ever and just looks at him and goes, "I'm gonna fucking kill you tonight." Like that's what he does. Like he literally looks at him and goes, "I'm gonna go out there, Matthew, and I'm gonna tear this field up, and it's your fault. Just the people in Green Bay should thank you."
Yeah. Well, I think that was his strategy. He says, "I'm going to draft a quarterback so that he plays better."
That's why I posted that picture on the Instagram because Matt LaFleur probably feels like a fucking genius.
He's a genius.
He did that unintentionally. It's like, yeah, I'm going to draft this guy that's going to, take over for Aaron Rodgers, who's been in the slight decline. And then Aaron Rodgers goes, "Oh, I am."
But if Aaron Rodgers does decline, it doesn't look that bad because Aaron Rodgers sat behind Brett Favre for like 5 seasons before he finally took over. Jimmy G sat behind Tom Brady, and Jimmy G's a different story, but sat behind Tom Brady for 4 years. Yeah. So I think you got to give him some time.
But Jordan Love went to Utah, so I'm not that.
Oh, 100%. Actually, I'm not going to talk shit about Jordan Love.
No, you're not allowed to talk shit about Jordan Love because I know for a fact we have it on a podcast.
Yeah, I know.
You said he is a Patrick Mahomes prototype.
Yes, prototype does not mean he is. That means that he has the makeup and the build. He plays like him. I did. I did because who else were we gonna have? We're gonna roll out there with Hoyer or Stidham. I'd rather Jordan Love.
You're insane. Now we got him.
Who'd we draft this year?
I would have rather.
And do you want to know? why I wanted the Patriots? Do you want to know why I wanted the Patriots to draft him? Do you want to know? Do you want to know why I wanted the Patriots to draft him? Because we only had a second. Because we had a second-round pick and no future quarterback, and Tom Brady was all but gone. Of course, I wanted to draft a second-round quarterback in Jordan Love.
There were better quarterbacks on the board, but other than
that, there wasn't.
So other than that,
who was better on the board and the second round? You wanted us to get Jalen Hurts over him?
Lundqvist.
I would have rather Jalen Hurts over him.
Jalen Hurts is a stud. What do you mean?
We're not having this debate today.
Fine, we won't have this
You're going to wait till
today,
next week.
But just know that I would rather you know what? Fuck it. I would have rather fucking Jake Fromm.
I liked Jake Fromm too. I said I liked Jake Fromm too.
So fuck Jordan Love.
I don't care if we got Jake Fromm. Yeah, that would have been it. But I'm saying the Patriots had a second-round pick. That's what I was saying. I wasn't saying trade up and draft him in the first round. I said if he fell to the second round, you take him.
We needed other things. I wanted Patrick Queen.
Yeah, well, I wanted Patrick Queen too, but you know what? That was
we have Patrick Queen at home, Brandon Copeland.
You know what? But we got Kyle Duggar, okay?
Yeah, exactly.
We got a D3 Salem State fucking safety.
Everybody said nobody wanted that guy, but then the Panthers, Steelers, and the Jets were like, actually, we kind of wanted them. Like, we were gonna go for him.
It's actually a good pick, but
that kid's turned out to be a stud.
He's looking good. He's big.
But hey,
he's big.
Is that all we got?
That is all we got. That's it for today.
Did we lose him again?
Yep.
Oh, I guess we're gonna continue the podcast because they can't hear me.
Luck was to Boston.
They can't hear me, so we're just gonna keep going until they can hear me. We're just gonna keep going because they can't hear me. Oh, okay. Hey, we're back. All right.
You're back.
Oh, wow. Isn't that great? Isn't that great? Hey, Bobby, I have something to talk to you about. Ready? You are. I'm just kidding. I muted.
Yeah, he paused it.
Yeah. Okay, but that is the end of it, Brady.
Oh yeah.
So what a way to end.
We had a good one. Don't forget about Patreon. Don't forget about the Fantasy Fathers episode. We're gonna be doing a giveaway at some point. We said we were gonna do one, but we kind of been dropping the ball on it. I want to create some more merchandise and fix up our store, get some new fresh things in there before we do a giveaway. But if you are watching the Fantasy Fathers episode, please send us your lineups for the week on Twitter, Instagram, wherever it is. Whoever has the highest margin, we're going to be trying to we'll find something little to give away, but whoever has the highest margin, we're going to send something to you each week on that episode. So it might be a sticker, it might be something, I don't know. We'll create something and
we're going to figure it out.
And yeah, what he said. And you mean his toes?
Dad jokes.
That was like Creepy Joe that has to come knock on your door.
That's not a creepy joke.
That was like, hey, I just am coming to let you know that I'm registered kind of joke.
Okay, no, you just took
a shuffle.
Yeah.
We were bad and now we're good. We're moving into your neighborhood.
My name's Robert.
All right, bye.
Okay.
No, wait, hold on.
Oh my god.
I have a dad joke.
Oh, boy, yeah, we forgot about these.
Yeah, come on now. Just because I've been gone doesn't mean you got to forget about this.
Well, you went to go get milk.
Exactly. Now I'm back.
Yeah.
I'm back with milk.
Well, you actually went to get milk because you needed them for your Oreos.
Exactly. No, I needed it for my Annie's Mac. That's what I needed it for.
Ooh, good call.
So did you guys hear about the bottle of water that got arrested?
No.
Well, it was wanted in 3 different states.
For what?
Solid, liquid, and gas.
All right.
That was good.
We're out.
That was good.